everybody, it's Sam Amico here with Hoops Wire Live on 330 to go. Talking Cavaliers. We're recording this Thursday, but the game that we're going to be talking about, well, a little bit Wednesday, Friday night. If you're watching this live on Friday, Cavs get another chance at the Miami Heat, and they didn't look great the other night. But here at Hoops Wire Live, we always focus on the big picture. And with that, I am so happy. As much as I enjoy having Ryan Tyler on, Booby Gibson is back. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm glad to see you, man. It's great.
Yeah.
It's always great energy in the building when we can get in and chop it up and talk a little Cavs basketball. Even after an L, you know what I mean, which is very necessary.
Yeah.
It's just fun to get back in the stool.
Yeah, that's right. And Booby, let me ask you this. Okay, former player. Everybody has experienced nights like the Cavs have this season.
Yep.
A couple of nights, losing to Utah at home before the trade. You just have nights where it's just like, we don't got it. These other guys are NBA players too. Yeah. And when that happens, that perfect storm, and Miami's a pretty good team, so that's not an insult against them. But Cavs played Orlando Tuesday, Miami Wednesday, and just came out flat, didn't have it. When you get beat like one of those games where it's like, we thought we'd win because we were at home, but just didn't have it. Dallas. What is your mindset after that? Because it is kind of the dog days of the season right now, kind of waiting for the playoffs.
Well, that's why, as a team, you can't ever get caught up in the outside noise because nobody really knows what's going on in that locker room. And to your point, the guys in that locker room know that we had just played a tough game against Orlando and that we're down 4 or 5 wing players.
Yeah.
I felt like we started Keon at the 4. I don't know if James was the 4. I don't know how that starting lineup was going. But at the end of the day, right now, all of those guys in that locker room are developing that mentality of next man up because you don't know when the playoff rolls around whose opportunity it will be. And it's no excuses. You take an L, you're going to go in the locker room and try to figure out what it is, and everybody's trying to find that rhythm. But, again, you don't get too down or high during this time of the year.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, man, bodies are ailing, bodies are breaking down. You just want to get to the last game of the year as healthy as you could be, playing as good as you could play, so you give yourself the best chance in the postseason. But you don't put too much on the L right now.
Yeah, and I guess that leads to the next question is, whenever I post about the Cavs, the story on the website, the post-game dribbles that I write, I get 20 comments of, how fans are. Fan is short for fanatic.
Yeah, that's how
they're fanatical.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Right. So it's, well, I see us getting beat in the second round again, or this guy doesn't have it.
Right.
Or there's a lot of blame being, what's funny is when I post after a win, no comments. But when they lose, it's like the floodgates open. So,
absolutely.
That's just the nature. I know I feel that way about my favorite teams when it comes to like the Browns or whatever. I get mad and I want to invent a little. So I get it. But the reality is, I think it's way too soon for anybody to jump off the bandwagon because they had won, 4 straight before that. Didn't look great, but won 4 straight. So what's your, what as a player, you're more focused on kind of being kind of the big picture, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. You can't at this time of the year get too caught up in that. And we spoke to it about having your full cast of guys and guys catching their rhythms. At the end of the day, when you have a Harden and a Donovan Mitchell pairing, I was able to see him last night develop some of that chemistry where you only have a lot of times one guy that you consider your best defender. And so now you got to kind of pick and choose where that guy goes. And I think it's more important for me or for us or those guys to figure out how to manage the game together. What parts of the game will they have an opportunity to score more or get other guys involved more? So I think those are right now the most important things that guys are focused on. Whereas like you might lose some games due to not having your roster, and you just we call it schedule losses
Right.
sometimes, where at the beginning of the year, it's 4 and 5 nights, it's the fourth one, and then that team that you played against has been off 2 days.
Right.
You know what I'm
Just
saying? So
kinda
they run in with all the energy in the world. And again, developing a winning mentality, it might come a playoff game where you feel tired and you have no legs. Where do you go back to and say, I can do this? It's a game in late April where you didn't have legs and you were able to pull out a win. Or a guy like Tomlin comes in, gets some reps, and we need him down the line. So right now, again, it's just building, you're putting your pieces together so you peaking at the right time, man. Like I always say, I don't want that to happen too early. I prefer it to happen towards the end. I mean, I prefer it to happen in the playoffs,
Right?
Where we can get the best assessment of a season.
No, and that's how Indiana did it last year. You know, the Cavs are on a very similar trajectory to the Pacers from last season. I kind of like that.
Yeah,
I kind of like them going in.
It bothers me a little bit that you know how I felt about the Pacers.
Right?
But I know exactly what you mean as far as like Uncle Mo, and when you're feeling good and confident about yourself as a team, you never know what can happen.
Right. What's Uncle Mo?
Yeah, momentum.
Yeah.
That's that player stuff in the locker room. You want Uncle Mo on your side
I gotcha.
more times than the other team during the game, because the game is all runs. You know, it's gonna be some bad moments. It's gonna be bad moments.
Right.
It's gonna have more good moments than the other team.
Yeah. And you just brought up Naquan Tomlin, who's, been an important part in the sense that he's not playing every night, but when he does, he brings energy.
94 feet last
94 feet, right. And the guy that I've really come to really appreciate and really just love watching him play is Thomas Bryant.
Yeah.
What is he bringing? And guys like that, how important are they that, might be nights where you play 8 minutes, or might be nights when you're playing 25, 30.
Yeah. I think we're seeing as a ball club that without JA, we can get small at times. And so those guys are really important. That's why I even spoke to the Tomlin last night. I think if you're missing a Dean Wade or if you're missing a Jared Allen, it's tough in my opinion, to put Keon in a situation where we might be playing against a bigger lineup. And I prefer a guy with some size that's able to switch on the perimeter and rebound. Sometimes we get out rebounded when we're missing one of our bigs. And so that Thomas Bryant and that Naquan Tomlin, those guys right there, I feel like can somewhat fill that void for us to be able to, stay close enough for the bag work boys to do their job.
Right. I like that nickname. They
I'm
trademark the bag work.
I already
boys.
did. I'm trademarking Bag Work University because that's what I'm running on Saturdays now. And so now we got the Bag Work boys for the Cavs. It just all goes together. So yeah, we locked in. We got Bag Work University T-shirts. That's what my sessions are on Sundays.
Well, I gotta get one of those T-shirts.
Yes, sir. I got
Not only do I ask you for all your time on the show, but I'm asking you for apparel now too. Kenny Atkinson called out the defense the other night after the win over Orlando. I was sitting in that press conference, and that's all he wanted to talk about. He came right in the press conference. He said, I just got done telling the guys in the locker room we can't defend like that or we're going to have an early playoff exit. Yep. He's like, we're trying to outscore people, and we can just outscore people, but that's not sustainable. And he said, you try to ask him a question about somebody else or something else positive because they won the game. He didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
He said, I don't want to hear about us missing guys or missing Jared Allen. I don't want to. There's no excuses for the way we're doing it. We weren't competitive at that end. We didn't have the IQ that we needed. Okay, you're a former player.
Yep.
Mike Brown, Byron Scott. I'm guessing Byron probably a little bit more would call guys out. But just how does that sit with you? Obviously, I think from my outside experience, players like it when the coach kind of challenges them a little bit. So how would you react to something like that?
Yeah, what I got from that message is like it's that time of year where you fine tuning those things that can win you championships, right? We know it's gonna be hard to guard these guys on the floor. Those two have proven all season long that it's hard to keep them out of the paint, right? But if we're gonna have that piece already taken care of, Kenny knows that right now is a perfect opportunity. Even with Jared Allen out, guys got to scramble a little more. We used to run drills in practice where you put yourself at a disadvantage to get stronger at something. And right now, you got guys, in my opinion, at a disadvantage in positions that they probably wouldn't be in if we were at full force. But it's getting guys prepared for what you have to do, the level that you have to play at, the desperation that you have to have come postseason. And so it's that mad scientist, Kenny, getting into mad scientist mode, pushing all of the right buttons and getting these guys into the right mindset of, yeah, you might be able to score right now, but if we want to win come postseason, we're going to have to get some stops.
You still like their chances in the postseason?
Ah, man, you know who you talking to. Big Cav over here, not the little one, man. I love what we did as far as the trade. I love how the bag work boys are coming together. I love how the bigs have been unlocked when we have our core. So I just think that I pray that we can get healthy at the right time and we're able to see what these guys are able to do, because I think we have all the pieces necessary to make a big run.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of times people forget when you make a trade in February, you've got to develop or get these guys chemistry on the fly.
Yeah,
you know, and not just offensive chemistry. You've got to get their defensive chemistry. And Kenny Atkinson specifically said, "I'm not calling anyone out here, but James." And there was a situation where James and Dennis kind of got mixed up on defense, and he said, going back and looking at the film the next day, he said, you get that because they're both new to the system, new to the team, and it's still, you know, they haven't had a training camp or any of that. It's like you learn it on the fly. So I think that that's part of what, you know, if they aren't like looking like the team to beat in the East, that's probably a little bit part of it. And like you said, you're starting to see Mitchell and Harden figure it out, who's taking the shot, who's got the ball. So I would imagine that's pretty, you know, the chemistry is really what it's all about.
Oh yeah, when I knew it clicked when I saw Spider, because with Spider, as he's welcoming a guy in, I felt like he's like, all right, here you go, I'm gonna pass it here, you know. And then after he came back from the injury, you saw the Spidey senses per se kick in and say, nah, James said he was coming here to help me. This is my show, and James has no problem setting the table. And then when you need him to crank it up, he cranks it up. But Donovan is seeing, like, I don't have all of the responsibility sometimes of managing the game. I can allow him to take it, and I just see that aggression and that ability to score go up a notch with 45 and 39 here. So I just think that's what I mean by seeing that chemistry grow, and it'll only continue to grow as they get closer to the playoffs.
Right. Scoring is never going to be a problem with this team because you have those two guys, obviously Evan Mobley and Jared Allen when he's back, and then now Sam Merrill's starting to get into the paint. Mm-hmm. You know, which is
they say starting to get to. You know, I'm with Char. I remember Char Sam Merrill when players was trying to double team him, or they didn't think he was good as he was the number one pick in our draft, and so kids was going at him for that reason. And Sam was getting to that rim, left hand, right hand. He actually has the ability to make plays out of pick and roll and everything. So I just say people are getting to see the full package of Sam, and he's getting more comfortable by gaining respect at the NBA level, to where coaches like, nah, go ahead. You want to get into the paint? You want to shoot threes? Do your thing, Money Merrill. So, you know, I'm the biggest Sam Merrill fan there is.
Yeah. Well, Booby, I'm doing my own YouTube channel now.
See, took a page out of my. This is something normally I would do. I liked it.
I know you've inspired me.
I like it. Yes, sir.
You're going to be on that a little bit, whether you like it or not. And so, if you guys want to check that out, it's over at The Real Sam Amico on YouTube. For now, this is Hoops Wire Live on 330 to go. Booby, so much. It's good to see you again.
Oh, yeah, I like how I pulled up on you, too. You ain't even know I was coming. Too.
I didn't even know.
You'll never know where I'm at.
I said, well, Booby's truck's not here. He's not coming. So.
Yeah, they got to catch that on the YouTube, man. But again, anytime you need me, you know, all you got to do is call, man. We go back like Cadillac seats. I got you.
Well, I appreciate that. It's always good to see you. And we will see you guys next week on Hoops Wire.